Hello, this is Stephen Whitfield with Drilling Contractor. I'm here at Nabors offices in Houston, Texas. Now, recently, Nabors and Corva announced the launch of a new package, RigCloud, powered by Corva. This package integrates Nabors' RigCloud system with Corva AI to provide improved data analytics, which can also help drive performance improvements at the rig. Now, in this video, we spoke with Tatiana Borges of Nabors and William Fox of Corva about the integration, sort of the nuts and bolts of what went into this and how this can help drillers everywhere in driving performance improvements. So check it out. So we are here at Nabors' offices in Houston, Texas, and I'm with Tatiana Borges of Nabors, and she's going to be talking about the RigCloud element. Well, I guess it's RigCloud powered by Corva, but we're going to begin the Nabors perspective of this integration. She'll tell us all about it. So Tatiana, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Stephen.
So first question I'm going to ask, pretty broad one. Why do this? You guys have been working with Corva for a while, so why take this next step?
Yeah, so we started working with Corva like 3 years ago. We did the integration of predictive drilling with Nabors on the Nabors rigs. And then it was just natural to progress to this, offering our customers like analytics in real time, not only on the offices, but now on the rig site, where the drillers can see their performance and they can act upon it.
So one thing that both you and Corva have, or you as in Nabors, have touted is the value of having sort of one set of like neutral KPIs that you can kind of use in your analytics. Now, we were just talking off camera about like all the different ways in which you can measure the things that I thought were just one KPI, but apparently there's many different ways you can measure that. So what's the value of having just one set of neutral KPIs?
Yeah, historically the industry has created their own KPIs, the way of calculating, the filters they apply to the data, like every provider does it differently. So having a neutral KPI makes like the driller and the CEOs calculate the same thing the same way. And so now you can measure everyone by the same rule.
So there's a couple of elements to this. So there's the RigCloud powered by Corva. There's that integration where you have Corva AI running with RigCloud. But then there's the smart ROS part of this equation that customers have the capability, if they so choose, to integrate this with smart ROS. So what does that do?
So Smart ROS is the rig operating system. It can integrate with the control system and control the pumps, the top drive, the drawworks, the auto driller. So what Smart ROS does is take these AI or these analytics and take into control to the rig. So they not only go in advisory mode, now you control actually the joystick or you control the auto driller and you can push performance.
So it's not just giving you notifications, it's actually controlling the BHA, but there's still somebody monitoring it.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay.
The driller is in control all the time. They turn on the system, they can turn off the system at any time, like he's still under control. He can change the settings, he can change the window of optimization, everything is in front of him.
So obviously you guys are a drilling contractor, but you're also a technology provider. And one thing with a lot of Nabors offerings is that you tout that you can run this on not just Nabors rigs. So with this integration, this integrated package, this doesn't necessarily have to run on Nabors rigs, right?
No, absolutely not. And we are already not running only Nabors rigs. We can control the control systems from different OEMs. All we need to do is integrate the rig operating system with the control system.
Okay, so far you've had this out in your rigs for a few months. What have you seen so far in terms of performance improvements?
Between at least 15, and we saw places where we went up to 60% improvement. Now instead of the driller having to change 1,000 set points, you have the system changing the set points for him based on the window of safety that they set.
Well, Tatiana, it's great to get the Nabors perspective of this. Thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we are here at Corva's headquarters in Houston, Texas to get Corva's side of this integration of RigCloud with Corva AI and sort of see how things are working on there. And joining me right now is William Fox of Corva. We spoke with him for the print story, which you can check on the July-August edition of Drilling Contractor about this. And we're going to get a little bit more detail from him about sort of what Corva did with this project. So, William, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming to our place.
All right, well, great to be here as always. So, let's talk about sort of this RigCloud powered by Corva. So we're speaking to Nabors about their sort of side of this, but from the Corva side of this, what is Corva's role in this integration? Where is Corva AI fitting within this system?
Right. So if you think about, there's three components to getting data collected at the rig and then getting it to the cloud so it can be used in applications that everybody can share, right? And what we have done with Nabors is they have all the hardware at the rig site still. They're still doing that collection. And instead of handing it off to a proprietary bridge and then cloud system, now they're handing it off to us. So if you think of us providing the data acquisition, QA/QC, and standardization in the cloud after we pick it up from the data that's coming from the rig, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So this data is still coming from a physical server and coming into the cloud system. Can you explain sort of that process a little bit more?
Yes. So on the rig, the RigCloud system, they still have the data acquisition unit. They still have the physical sensors. They're still doing processing and calculations on site in their hardware. We do not have any hardware. However, we are now taking it from them via API and WITSML to our cloud. So essentially use this as a platform as a service to collect, store, and standardize and clean up the data. And it gives them sort of one throat to choke globally to maintain the backend for the cloud version of RigCloud.
Now, we're talking about ingesting a lot of data here. For my brain, it might be a little hard to fathom like how much, terabytes of it per day. So how do you kind of work around challenges with ingesting that much data?
So it is a lot of data, and it's with RigCloud, because they have access to their control system tags, it's orders of magnitude more data than we get from a normal rig collection. However, we were already ingesting anywhere from 3 to 5 terabytes of data per day for the existing customers, and now with the state of things in 2026, it's very easy for us to, once we've specified what the requirement's going to be, scale up using the hyperscalers that are supporting each instance globally. So whether that be Azure, AWS, or even a national oil company's locally controlled cloud, we effectively can just scale up the existing system to take the extra load.
And anytime I think about something like this, I think about like potential issues with latency, and I'm sure that you guys have already thought about like how do we work around that. So why don't we tell the people out there like is that a particular challenge that you have to deal with an integration like this?
I think latency was a problem for everyone prior to 2023 and the commercialization of Starlink, and now between a combination of running fiber to certain remote rigs and Starlink for everything else, latency and outages, just flat out outages, used to be a huge issue, and we're now more like 99.5% uptime, like you'd expect from another cloud service.
Well, William, thank you for giving us the details on this. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much.
So I'd like to thank Tatiana and William for taking the time to speak with us here today. This is Stephen Whitfield. Thank you for visiting drillingcontractor.org.